Hello, welcome to this tropical update for the Atlantic. So we basically have that similar situation we talked about in the last video. So we still have these two areas here, but uh, there's this one a 30% chance in the Caribbean. Might still be a quick depression or something, but the main threat is a very heavy rainfall from this in parts of the Yucatan of Mexico, Belize especially, northern Nicaragua and Honduras. So that's the main threat. And then there's like this area in the Atlantic now at 20 and 30%. So model guidance has decreased a lot from this and because the wind shear and stuff. So let's see. Showers and thunderstorms associated with trough and low pressure located a couple hundred miles east of the Leeward Islands remain disorganized. Some slow development is possible during the next couple of days as the disturbance moves quickly westward to west-northwestward, around 20 miles per hour, passing near the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico on Friday, and then near Hispaniola and southeastern Bahamas on Saturday. Strong wind shear should end the chances of development by late in the weekend. So, hurricane hunters currently investigating if there's something interesting. On the Eastern Pacific, we actually have an area here, 30% in air low pressure expected to form during the middle part of next week, well offshore the southwestern coast of Mexico. Thereafter, some gradual development is possible. So, let's see Central Pacific kind of quiet. So here's Invest 94L near the Lesser Antilles, and the models, there are fewer models showing, but they show like near the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and the disturbance eventually might move into Cuba. The intensity guidance is still a little bit strange with this because the chances have gone down a lot, but most models are still showing tropical storm strength. So there's just one model, this orange one here, not showing tropical storm strength. I think there's this orange and there's two other models with the names there. So there are like three models, and all the rest of the models are showing tropical storm, even hurricane intensity. So we gotta watch this. So like the wind shear and everything will become less favorable. Most major models don't have anything crazy, but the model still shows something might form there. So let's see, we have some ensembles. Take this near Puerto Rico, Cuba, or like Hispaniola. Might be some heavy rain there. And let's see. So here, there's the GFS. It does eventually form the disturbance in the Caribbean, making landfall as a tropical depression or storm in the Yucatan, northern Belize. But I still think it's somewhat aggressive with this because most models don't show it developing. But on the National Hurricane Center, on the next like 2 days, it has a higher chance that they invest 94 hours. So I guess we'll see. This is not an invest yet. So yeah, and then the area on the Atlantic just moves throughout there, doesn't form into absolutely anything. It just keeps trying to spin up Caribbean systems and heavy rain to Florida on November 1st, but that's a lot of weeks out, so let's not see that right now. But there's the European, it has the broad circulation on the Western Caribbean there, and it might form to a quick depression or something, but then it rapidly goes to Central America and kind of dies out. But this will produce a lot of heavy rain in the whole path of this, like Belize and the Yucatan, northern Honduras and northern Nicaragua, might be the worst hit. But southern Mexico, when this crosses through Mexico, it might be very bad too. So please be careful. There's the Canadian model, shows like uh, kind of shows a small circulation, very disorganized, but still might be, if it gets itself together fast enough before landfall, might be like a quick depression or something. But it goes into Belize. There's some very heavy rain to Guatemala and like southern Mexico. This might eventually form on the Eastern Pacific there, like they have there. Then later, the Canadian has more lingering moisture around Central America, especially near like Costa Rica, Panama, and Nicaragua. and more stuff in like Honduras and Belize too later on, but it doesn't have any development on the system near the Lesser Antilles. So let's see. There's the Navgen. It shows like it shows that broad circulation there, the system of the Caribbean, and the Navgen actually takes this to like tropical depression strength really quick. 1005 millibars is like tropical depression. It almost looks like a tropical storm by the structure, but maybe like tropical depression strength and goes into Central America. And the Navgen even strengthens this a little bit more there in the southwestern Gulf as this crosses through southern Mexico. Might be some significant rainfall through southern Mexico there. There's the icon. I don't think I showed you yet. Yes, there's disturbance on the lesser, near the Lesser Antilles, just might bring more rain to the Greater Antilles, but doesn't have like anything developing. And there's the Western Caribbean, shows a broad circulation there. Might be a quick depression, but 1008 is like very weak, so probably nothing. But it does, by that shape, it almost looks like a depression. And then it goes into Belize and the Yucatan, might be some very heavy rain there, and showing it a little bit stronger down to 1006 on the southwestern Gulf. So gotta watch for a quick spin up there, possibly. This mainly it. The hurricane models, they're just invest 94 out there. The HRF has this like passing the islands, some areas there and dying out into northern Venezuela. So the HRF is going to northern Venezuela. Let's see the halves A. So it shows it because this is weird. They showed it much further south. That on the end of the screens is Trinidad and Tobago. That's like St. Vincent the Grenadines. I don't know where these models are showing it near Venezuela, since it's like near the northeastern Caribbean, as you can see here. But let's just see what else they got. So there's the halves B2. The disturbance is like there in the Atlantic, shows it kind of going into the islands. So this is correct now. It shows it passing just north of the Virgin Islands in Puerto Rico. Might be some storms there, and then it has like near Hispaniola in some areas, but in Venezuela, I guess. But that doesn't have anything crazy developing. There's the H1. It has like, what's this, man? Wait. So it has like there in the Atlantic. So that that on the lower part of the screen is like the northeastern Caribbean. There's the Virgin Islands there. So it has this becoming like very quick a tropical storm. So actually the H1 has a tropical storm coming out of this, passing just north of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and going like has a dying tropical depression towards Cuba in the southern Bahamas. So gotta watch this. What that's very few model support, but still a model or two shows it. And the rainfall, the GFS has this forming there, heading towards like the Yucatan. It has some very heavy rainfall. This just next 3 days, next 72 hours, he has more than 10 inches there in the Yucatan in some areas. We will show you in millimeters in a second. So there's the European too. It has more scared about, but it has like a lot in the Cayman Islands, near Cuba, but especially like southern Mexico, Guatemala, northernmost Honduras, Belize, northernmost Honduras in the Yucatan. So be careful. There's like, wait, there's the icon here. Let's see. So precipitation, maybe here 72 hours. So the icon has more in the ocean as usual, but it does have more in the Yucatan Peninsula, near Belize, Honduras, and those areas. So be aware. There's the Canadian too. Shows here. The Canadian has some very big amounts in northern Honduras, probably more than 100 millimeters. Northern Belize, some very high amounts too, into southern Mexico and Guatemala. So there might be some flooding from this in those areas. So please stay safe there. Let's see. There's the European ensembles. He has only one or two showing this tropical depression or storm near the Greater Antilles, but like very, very low support. It has some support in the Caribbean too, but very low. Generally over southern Mexico and the southwestern Gulf, might be a tiny bit stronger, but there's very little support. The GFS on the other side has like a little bit of support too, but the operational head is like a tropical storm there in Mexico. It does have a tiny green line there, it's hard to see, and some other lines there might be quick depression or storm according to the GFS. And interesting enough, the GFS does have some ensembles near the Eastern Caribbean by like October 27th. It has some out in the ocean, some near Northeastern Caribbean. So gotta watch those. So that's like 2.5 weeks out. So let's not worry too much about those. But the European model here, the latest run, has more than 200 millimeters northernmost Honduras there. 200, it has like 92 to 100 throughout northern central Belize, even southern Belize. The Yucatan here has more than like 170 millimeters, so be careful, there will be flooding there. And like 200 millimeters through Mexico. Some highlands of southern Mexico, more than 300 millimeters, so this might cause some very big flooding throughout Guatemala during periods of heavy rain when this arrives, so be careful in all those areas. Let me say this in Spanish. Hola, ¿qué tal? Entonces va a haber lluvia muy fuerte en partes de América Central y México, principalmente el norte de Honduras, muestra más de 100, 200 milímetros de lluvia en los próximos 5 días. Puede haber lluvia más fuerte en muchas partes de Honduras, algunas tormentas en El Salvador, Nicaragua, sí, más lluvia, algunas tormentas, pero en Belice va a haber este sistema. Así que va a dejar más de 100 milímetros de lluvia partes de Belice y Yucatán de México, unas zonas de Yucatán así, más de 150, 160 milímetros. Precauciones con inundaciones y lluvia más fuerte con esto. Y luego esto se va a Guatemala, muestra más de 150 milímetros partes del norte y oeste de Guatemala. Muchísimas precauciones. Y México, principalmente México, así cerca del Golfo, más de 200 milímetros, 209. Y este modelo muestra unas zonas más de 300 milímetros así, sur de México. Muchísimas precauciones este fin de semana y principios de semana que viene. Más zonas así del este de México. Y es esto. Good. So stay safe there. Be careful. There's the GFS too. It has this as a stronger system further north into the Yucatan, like 200 millimeters through the Yucatan and Belize there, northern Belize especially. Northern Honduras has close to 100 as well. It has like parts of the Gulf near Mexico, like some more than 100, almost 200 millimeters near Mexico. So please be careful in Mexico. Near like Nicaragua and Costa Rica, 97 to 100 millimeters, 80 millimeters. So there might be still some showers and storms throughout Panama, Costa Rica. Some might be heavier from time to time. So be careful. The icon has a lot there near the Yucatan and Belize. The Yucatan like more than 168 millimeters, 78 millimeters. In Mexico, the icons like more than 200, 300 millimeters throughout eastern Mexico, southern Mexico, and Guatemala, northern Guatemala. So please stay safe in those areas and be careful with flooding and everything. So let's just see one thing. The wind gusts doesn't show anything crazy. Just near like Florida and some areas, there's the cold from there. Finally, after all that heat, does show some gusty winds near the Florida Keys and Cuba from time to time. But show this circulation in the Gulf, might get some gusty winds close to the Yucatan and the seas there, maybe some larger waves, and shows a gusty wind or two near Mexico there. So be aware, maybe a little bit larger waves in the Central Caribbean for some winds, but nothing crazy. So this mainly it. Stay safe.